Tune in 12 noon on Sundays for Millennial High on 106.5 FM WPPM People Power Media with Tia Whitfield, the #1 show in Philadelphia that wants to give you the best in artists, entertainment, education, health, fitness, and philanthropy. Millennial High is not just a show. It is here to inspire and provoke others to take action towards their purpose in life. So if you have an uplifting, thought-provoking message, get with us at Millennial High. That is millennialhigh@gmail.com.
Millennial High.
Millennial High.
Millennial High. Tia from Millennial High.
With the one and only Miss Tia Whitfield.
At 106.5 FM.
This is Anthony Lower, tech guru here in Philadelphia, and you're listening to the most innovative talk show in the city, Millennial High. And here's Tia.
Hey, it's your girl, Tia Shasha High, the host of Millennial High, where the trend-setting millennial comes for motivation, inspiration, and deep conversation. Today's show is an exciting one. I'm super excited to have Pat Kerswanis here co-hosting on today's show. Wait, so Pat is hilarious. I just told her last minute she was one of my co-hosts. And she's so on point with it. If you remember, Pat was on one of my initial beginning early shows in Millennial High last year. I don't know. Maybe you were like the third show or fourth show. And she was awesome. Awesome. Pat is like a talent agent. She's a choreographer. She is the owner of Step 2 Dance Center. And
my gosh, I sound exciting.
You are.
Goodness. Heavens.
And she introduced me to these wonderful, wonderful, creative, artistic people that are with me today in the studio. Derrick Shawn Grant.
Hello
and
there.
Jaylun Grant.
Julian.
Oh
my gosh.
There's always one name I always mess up every single time. I have no idea. Jaylun Grant. Julian is a musician, and Derrick he was a scientist.
Yes.
Yeah, turned artist, graphic designer, surrealist painter, everything. You were doing everything.
Designer,
Fashion designer.
Yeah.
Right now. So I can't wait to talk to him. And together they formed, along with
My wife.
Derrick's wife. What's her?
Shernette.
Shernette.
Yeah.
She's in the studio too, but she doesn't want to get on the radio with
glue.
me.
Yeah, she's the boss.
glue.
She's the boss. So she's
the
going to
glue.
regulate us today, make sure we all behave.
Exactly.
She holds it together. She holds it.
Well, together they all form Next Level Fashion. And we'll get into that and we'll talk to them and we'll hear about their inspiring story, especially Derrick's, his journey from scientist to fashion designer. And then also we'll play a little bit of music. Right?
Sounds good.
Yeah, something you guys are in for a treat, most surely. But always, I'm going to set the mood for the show. And I know that when I was looking through Derrick's artwork, I thought of this one song that came to my mind. So I want to play it. And as always, it is kind of like a dance track, but it's down tempo now. So it's a song called If You Wanna featuring AL. And you'll love it. I hope you do. Let me know. Message me if you love it. And I'll play it again on another show. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Tia Shasha High, Millennial High. I have Pat Kerswanis as my co-host today. Let me turn on your mic so they can hear your beautiful voice.
Oh my gosh. Can you hear me now?
And Pat is on the show. What's up, Pat? How have you been?
Oh, it's all real. I don't know. We just shot a scene yesterday that I wrote in my house.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, is it a short film?
Yes, we're going to send it out to film festivals.
Wait, so, oh my goodness. Now you can, okay, so Pat has been like very instrumental just in my journey, just very encouraging and having me like get out there. Tia, just go, you know, who cares what they say? Just do what you got to do, you know? So she's been really cool. Exactly, yeah. So now it's so cool that you're writing because I have something that I'm doing eventually. Ooh. Yeah, I know. It's so cool. Because, you know, my mind thinks I like out there, like multi-dimensional
I'm
type
really
of stuff.
Scared, but okay.
No, but it's actually really good. I got some good feedback and I'm not even done the script yet. All right, Pat's scared.
I'm scared. Okay.
Okay. So you'll hear more about that. Don't worry.
Okay.
But back to our amazing guest. So Next Level World is a world where the disciplines of artistic design, modern music, and fine fashion merge and interact to produce vibrant styles, energetic sound, and uncommon contemporary designs. And I have Derrick Shawn Grant here. I have Julian.
There you go. Hey, 100 points.
I have Jaylun Grant here and Sharnette. She has shout out to Sharnette, but it's all right. She's not on the mic today. But they are an amazing father-son team. And like I said earlier, Derrick, he was a scientist and he followed his dreams. And you know, we're all about that on the show, where you follow your dream, like until you manifest it, you know, like you make sure you do what's important to you because life is short, you know, like I heard someone say, we only have like 75 summers, you know what I mean? Like, but you got to think about it like that, right? So I want to welcome Derrick to the show.
Thank you so much.
I want you to.
It's great to be here.
Good. He's so awesome. When they came like decked out, you know what? While we talk to Derrick and Julian, I'm going to go to my IG. So everyone knows it's Millennial High on Instagram, and I'm going to do some video so you can see the designs.
And that's one of his designs, correct?
Exactly.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. I'm going to actually do that in a couple minutes. Next Level World started off with an artist who left his profession as a scientist to raise a family and pursue his dreams of becoming a famous painter. Along that journey, his son, who was always involved with music, saw that his artwork was worth more than the house's basement. I love that line. Together, they started a company called Next Level World, whose main goal is to bring art and music to fashion. What's up, you guys?
Nothing much.
It's been a long journey.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Yeah. It's great to be here. And anytime we can get out there and tell people about what we're doing or what we did is great. And I've always loved to create things, particularly artistic things. And I've been doing painting now for over 22 years. And a lot of the paintings that I've done, a lot of them were sold in various places in the Virgin Islands, where we were for 3.5 years. I've sold a couple in New York. I sold a lot of them here as well, too. And over the years, I've accumulated a lot of paintings all over the house. And that's where Julian came in and said, what are you doing with those paintings all over there?
Yeah, and it's interesting because, I was at the age of probably 16, but I've been making music since 13. And it's just, my parents were like, go get a job. I was into skateboarding. Like, I had to spend a lot of money on skateboards and stuff. So I got a job, and then I came home and I was like, Pops, I'm wasting time. Like, if we took your artwork and put it on some clothes, we'd make tons of money. And then that started a summer of long discussions, arguments,
and the glue
inspiration.
Okay.
Yep. And then, Mom walks in, who's our boss. She keeps us in line, makes sure we don't get too crazy or too creative. And basically what happened is it's actually beautiful how this all came together, because in 2014, dye sublimation, which is the technology we use for our garments, was literally just coming into the scene. So the stuff we have now is literally as people are inventing new products, new ways of utilizing this technology, because most garments that you wear is just regular garments printed and dyed, while this is actually computer generated, transferred right to the garment, and they're doing that all in China.
That's
so
awesome.
We did our stuff out out in China, and then all of a sudden, about 2 years later, we start seeing factories pop up in LA. Now they're across the country, and we're merging with another company to just, utilize that technology and get artwork on your clothes, because it can happen now.
And what's good with the technology is that it's a gas sublimation. So the colors are brilliant. As you can see, I'm wearing right here. Yeah. The colors are infused into the fabric, and they're permanent. You can wash this 100 times and it still looks exactly the same.
Oh, they just pop.
It's just unbelievable. And with me, I love color. And if you look at most of my art pieces online, you see the color is vibrant.
It is.
Yes.
The color is vibrant, and your thought process or the tapping into your consciousness is actually pretty interesting.
Well, it just goes to show how crazy I actually am. Like I tell, the great thing with doing it on computer first is that anything I imagine, I can then put in the computer. And then after we do it on the computer, we print it out in canvas. There's great printing people down here in Philadelphia particularly. And then I hit it with paint, acrylics, anything like chalk, anything I want, just put it on there. And the vibrancy that comes out afterwards is just amazing. And it's so different. It's kind of a bit surreal, but at the same time, it's a Renaissance art.
Yeah.
And then I mix it also with some modern contemporary art as well, too. So
totally surreal.
Yeah.
I mean, Salvador Dali, surreal.
Oh yeah. Good one.
Yeah, right?
Absolute. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back in time a little bit, if you believe in such a concept. But no, I'm joking. But let's go back in time. Let's go back in time. How did you go from scientist to what you're doing now? So talk about your journey a little bit.
Well, originally I went to school at McGill University in Montreal, and there main focus was medicine or research, and I stayed out of the medicine part because I hated patients. I figured that wouldn't work out very well. My wife stayed in that area, so I started teaching medical school and doing research. Then I moved down to Washington D.C., where I spent 6 to 8 years there working on developing various products. Throughout that time, I was very frustrated because, again, like everyone else, we do this for our mother. So mother wants to be a doctor. I became a doctor, did everything for her. And there reached a time where one of us had to stay home because we were both very busy. I was here at Jefferson University Hospital. My wife was at Jefferson as well, too, at that time, and at Penn. And we were just so busy. Yeah. And somebody had to stay home with the kids. So I said, well, I'll volunteer. And at that time, they gave me an opportunity to start my artwork. Yeah. And I started drawing and working again. And I had done a lot of painting and art history work when I was at McGill University as a minor. So I was able to just jump forward into that.
Why art? Why are you passionate about it? Where did that stem from?
It's like breathing. You have to do it. And there's something, it's just in your mind. You have all these colors, ideas, concepts that you just want to get down on paper. And since I was small, I doodled all the time, all of my books, everywhere. But it was repressed because I had to do science, I had to focus, I had to be disciplined, I had to do something responsible that would take care of my family. And so that's what I focused most of my time on. But later on, in my 40s, thanks to my amazing wife, she was tolerant and she was very, very just perfect person for me. I was able to start my art career.
I
so
love
for the
that
last
word,
22
tolerant.
Sorry.
Yes. Continue. So for the last 20 years.
So for the last 20 years, I started doing that. And I've evolved. And with the computer, I'm able to use a stylus and a board and actually just paint directly on the computer. So I didn't mess up the house too much with paint all over the place. And with the printing methods, improved so much, as Jaylun had said, especially on canvas. Yeah. I'm able to print my work and get the exact colors and then get the acrylics in there and work it. So it's a multimedia kind of artwork that you see.
You must have all types of printers then.
Yeah, I've been through so many printers, but right now I have someone who specializes in printing it. Right now, Fireball Printing, who are in Philadelphia, do my printing. Wow. And they're really good too. And before that, Silicon Graphics did my printing here. And then once I print, I can put it on canvas. But I think the best thing is that this idea that Jaylun and I came up with, we're putting it on clothes. Because right now, my aim is to move from the canvas to the body. There is no reason why art has to be on a wall.
Right, truth.
I want people to be able to wear an art piece and express it in their own way.
Right.
And what's crazy is actually with that evolution with him, we've realized his 20 years of doing it all on the computer, he just spits it out on the computer faster than anyone can do it on like a
Yeah.
stylist. Because like usually people, they go to school in fashion, you learn to work with your hands. He doesn't quite see it that way. He sees it all digitally. And so he'll go out, design it on the computer, get the measurements perfectly, print it out, cut it out, and the outfit looks exactly what it was on the computer.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's a completely new way of designing clothing.
It is.
And it's
Which
limited.
I would prefer.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, okay, so can I tell you right now, I'm in all black, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
Rebel.
but I wear black all of the time because I feel like there's nothing out there that interests me. Like, I'm so tired of clothes. That's just saying, no, not like that. But what I mean is just that it's all the same thing to
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one like how can we take this like further, like a new thought? And I feel like that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and with the 3D printing,
Yeah.
it's going to be even better. I don't know if you've seen some of the Alexander McQueen's outfits.
Yeah.
With the 3D print. Oh, absolutely unbelievable.
Wow.
You know what? This is gonna be so. I want to go back for a little bit. I find that it's so interesting that people never always think that the typical career path, it's always it makes money. They never think art makes money.
Right.
Isn't that so interesting?
And
It
because you
doesn't.
enjoy it. I know, but it makes me sick because just because you enjoy it, you're not supposed to make money from it. It's like, wait a
No,
minute
but
now.
that's not. I kind of feel like we've been lied to.
It's the line where you sell yourself. That's really it.
Right, but I feel like
that
you can
line.
do. I don't. Okay, so are you saying that sell yourself like in a negative way, or
Well,
just
people look at it as negative, but it's
Yeah.
survival. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if Nike
absolutely.
comes to you and is like, "Here, we'll give you 50 grand to do exactly this," which is your artwork. Are you going to take the 50 grand, or are you going to say, "Nah, I just want to keep creating stuff"?
But you are creating, so I agree. But I think that that's what makes the struggling artist the struggling artist, right? It's because they won't
They don't
accept
see
that
the
deal.
doors. It's not even that they don't see the doors opening up. So like even like right now we're talking about ways to bring money into what we're doing, and there's doors everywhere. You know what I mean? Like with his mind alone, he could he could become a millionaire with this type of mindset of the way his brain's working if someone saw the platform in the right way. But the hard part is, how do you platform yourself? How do you get your artwork to work in what they need? What's going to generate money for their company?
So what do you have? What are you doing now to generate?
Well, right now what we're doing is we previously the first setup of the company was to design the clothing and sell it at trade shows, and to go to events and sell it at musical events and so forth. We've tried that several times, and it's not as lucrative as you think it is. For instance, I've seen people come up to me and argue about the price of a $35 shirt, then go and buy 3 drinks for $10 a piece. So you could have bought a shirt and kept it with you.
Right.
And they don't quite get it when you're out there just partying, having fun. So what we're doing now is we're selling a lot of the clothing online at nextlevelworld.com. And people can go to nextlevelworld.com and see a whole variety of clothing. And we're revamping the site to sell mainly leisure and athletic wear on the site now. And we have teamed up with infinitebitapparel.com. And through them, they're a huge company now they have over 50 artists, and they sell tons of clothing of different artistic type. And we're introducing something new. We're introducing different styles.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned T-shirt is gone.
Yeah.
We have long back T-shirts with zips and tucks and
exactly.
open stomachs, and we're doing a lot more with the T-shirt.
I have a question now that you said open stomachs. Who are you designing for? So, for instance,
You mean like size-wise?
No, she means some demographics.
yes,
Yes. Well, we're initially we were targeting the younger group, the 17 to 30-year-old. But we found that we also have interest. People walk up to us. I mean, even this morning at McDonald's, somebody looked at my shirt and said, "Where do I get that?" She was like a 40 or 50-year-old woman. And so we broadened our demographics to include a lot more of the older 30-something, 40-something, 50-something, even 60-something.
Is your clothing, or do you have a line of like maybe unisex clothing?
Everything, I think, should be unisex.
Exactly.
I don't believe in this male and female
Thank you.
separation.
That's exactly what I was asking. That was
Yes.
exactly my point, because I know that there's a huge market out there where people feel like they're being forgotten because no one's creating clothes for them. And it's people who don't identify as, you know what I'm so.
And in this age of gray gender,
exactly.
you need to focus on this is for everyone.
Exactly. And you know what's so interesting is just that my sister showed me, she DM'd me a post, and it was like this really like trendsetter guy, queer guy, and he was just like, where are all the clothing for me, you know, like because like he likes the feminine type of quality clothing, but they don't fit him the way that they should fit, you know, because it's not. So I kind of find that my sister's like, Tia, we need to do something about this. I'm like what?
Well, just like
But
perfume.
it's a huge market, but there is like, yeah, exactly.
It's like perfume. You choose your scent.
Yeah.
You choose what you want to wear.
Yeah.
There should be no
It
limitations.
should be no
No
limitations.
dictation as to men have to wear this. And that's one of the problems I find here, especially in the Northeast. Everyone wants to wear gray, black, green, forest green particularly, or, you know, and it's like we have to break out of that. If
I
you look
like
around
color.
the world,
Don't look at me. I know we're black.
Meanwhile,
But no, what I would wear if it was some. I love prints.
Yeah.
Like it's either black or prints. It's just like there's like no in between. But it's just because there's. Look, what do we have? I mean, oh my gosh, we went into. Don't judge me when I say this, but we went into Macy's the other day, right? And I never see anything. I never see everything looks the same as when I wore it like 15 years ago. Like it's the same stuff, and that's why I love it because it's so refreshing. And when I saw your like designs, and I saw, I just found your IG. I wish I was looking sooner, but I just found your IG when I was like, oh, this is really great. And then Asia showed me, hi Asia, because I know she's listening because she's keep messaging me and I'm ignoring you because you're out of control.
I wish she was here. She's amazing.
I told Asia to come. I said, Asia, I was like, your mom's coming because, you know, she loves her mom. So I'm like, Asia, your mom's coming. And she's like, oh, I wish I can come. But she wishes she was here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Asia. But no, I can't remember why I said Asia's name in the first place now.
Fashions.
Who knows? Asia, I love you. Moving on. It'll come back to me.
All right, Grandma. Here we go.
This is a Gemini in me that I just get sidetracked.
It's good for radio, though.
Yeah, right, because it's just how my mind, like you said, that you have something that's in your mind, and then how you...
It had to come out.
It had to come out, right? So that's how I operate.
And one thing we've learned too over the years is that, like, as a creative, you can be in your incubator creating a lot of stuff, but it's that team around you to keep you organized. So, like, a lot of times, like my dad was saying, his wife, my mom, she's the other brain completely. So she's like looking at, all right, the stipulations of what's happening next. And then even now us teaming up with another person, Jerry, who's also, his mind's all over the place too.
Ooh.
See, but
hey, I'm saying that because I love him. He's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jerry's my boy, and I get like why he's crazy because of all the stuff he's doing. But we're even looking for another person in the team who's got that business mindset, because that's what it takes.
So important.
That's what it takes,
Absolutely.
especially if you're a bunch of creatives. You really need some rocks.
Yep.
Oh, you need
to
someone
push
to
the
come
ship
into the room
forward.
and go, no, this is how it needs to go. It cannot go this way or whatever.
Because then it lets the artist express himself, throw the colors out, and then the business person runs
They'll
out
just
and makes
take
the money
care of
for
it.
him.
Exactly. That's exactly
Tough
what it
job.
is. It is a tough job.
And as being an artist, you just got to know when to let someone take it, run with it, and be comfortable in your art. Let your art be the expression. And I find over the past couple of years, we're kind of learning how that works, that dynamic, because you can call up anybody. It's 2018. You can call any company in the world. Their numbers are all online, but it's what message do you have to give them and why they're going to do business with you is the part.
Truth.
That's hard.
It's that purpose. That's what sells. Is that can they connect with you? You know, like it's not more. It's really your story. It's always the story, because once you become like the brand to wear, then people just want to like rock it because like, oh, I have this brand and I can afford something.
Right.
But I think that when people start to when people gravitate to you on a deeper level, that's the truth. Like they'll stick with you.
Yeah.
And something magical happening. I don't know if my dad mentioned, but he's going to be in a pretty top high-end New York Fashion Week coming up.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about
And
that.
But before I dive into that, I was just the example of so I got a music manager I'm working with right now, and she's kind of said, "No, you're not allowed to work in fashion anymore." And at first, I took
She's banned him from the company.
Yeah, getting kicked out of the
Why?
company you start, which is kind of, it burns you.
You
But
dance
what's
with the person that bought you to the dance.
Yes.
But see, what's interesting is with that happening, we figured out our own lanes. So I let my dad, all right, you go crazy with your creativity, keep going because he's inspired. And I'm focusing more on events and organizing and staging him so that when he puts his stuff out, it's going to look the best. It's gonna pizzazz like Pat, like what she's talking about. We did a dance performance and stuff like that.
Yeah, at the recital.
At the recital, I jumped out of the fashion. I was like, I'm not even gonna look at the clothes. Focus with her. We got the dancers and everything. We figured out how to get the energy right, so the performance was beautiful. And so now I'm focusing more on performances. And Pat, I didn't tell you yet, but last night I was at the Mushaloo boat, and I don't know if you saw that email I sent you about. There's another event coming this fall that we're putting together. Try and get that on that boat.
Ooh.
And so last night, and it was EDM, the show that was at last night. So there's a lot of
Wait, it was
cool
EDM
stuff.
on Mushla? You need to send me.
Yeah, Unlock. They got 3
who's
more
the
events
event?
going on. Unlock
Oh.
Presents. They did an amazing show. They packed the entire boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to let me. I need
Another
that
one September
information.
20th, and then October one's coming up. But we're going to be discussing about getting fashion on that boat because they've never had a fashion show yet.
So you're listening to right now. You're listening to Julian, and he is a musician, as you know. He's an art. He's a rapper,
Yep, rapper singer.
but not even just rapper. Like I feel like you produce your own tracks too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Obviously, and you create the beats.
Yeah.
Except.
Rapper extraordinaire.
So he basically does everything. So before we go to a break, I just kind of want you to introduce. I'm going to play one of his tracks. I want you to introduce Lips. Like, what was the inspiration?
Oh, wow.
Because I'm going to play that right now.
Oh my God! Actually, that song's kind of magical because I've been rapping, singing. I started singing at 4, or no, sorry, piano at 4, but started singing at 8, and then I was rapping at 13 and producing and everything. But Lips was cool because I'd won a guitar last year, about 6 months ago, and being away from fashion and stuff, I just play it every day and just practice. And then that song, I was going through, some relationship stuff. I was like, I was caught up in my feelings, and I just played and that song just came out on the guitar, and it's really beautiful because I'm actually really happy about that song because the other day I got to finally play at the open mic, which I'd won the guitar, and I performed that song, and it was just magical because, you win this guitar, your heart just makes you play it until a beautiful art piece comes out of it. And then that was that song Lips. So it does mean a lot to me in that sense that it was
Nice.
it was that plateau of you can do whatever you want in music.
Well, let's check it out. Lips.
I bite my lips for you, my love. Grant this wish for you, my dove. Grant my wish for you,
In a way.
my love. What I always told you, you could be a dove, fly and just eliminate all the problems, leave them to astray, 'cause God solved them. A whisper in the back of your head that reminds you of the evil that you bled. I'm growing to change me. I love you so. Maybe we could create something unique. slaughtering around here. I know it's getting harder each year. I bite my lips for you, my love. I grant this wish for you, my love. I bite my lips for you, my love. Grant this wish for you, my love. I grant this wish for you.
Oh, is it the little girl painting or?
Grant this wish
Oh my God.
for you,
Oh.
my love. I'm wearing chapsticks. Love you like I did when I was just a kid. It was 6, drawing out the garden. We would ride together to the stars. Push the gas to start. I know your buttons, I'll keep pressing till you feel my heart. Traveling world, you're a traveling girl. All that I will feel
Oh yeah. Wait. No.
a fragrance.
That's. I think it's in the first verse actually. Nah, put chapstick. I think it's coming.
Tell me about your story.
Yeah, it's this is like the bridge, second verse,
Where it goes.
where it gets all like dreamy.
People, they will know the spirit that you flow.
And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Tia Shasha High. Pat Krzwanitz in the studio co-hosting with me. I have Derrick
Hi
and
there.
Julian.
What's up?
Hello there.
We're back. And I love that track. It makes me like,
Dreamy,
it
dreamy.
is. It's
Floating.
like very trippy.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm still floating. Hold
He's
on.
still floating.
Wait a minute.
Trying
We're
to-
trying to
Okay.
come down on that
All
millennial high.
Right. Okay.
Trying to
go
come
ahead.
down.
Okay, we're good.
So I think that like relationship heartbreaks always make the best music.
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like
You write your
relationship
best
woes.
stuff. Yeah, you write your best stuff when you do that.
I mean,
You know,
that song
which is
alone
terrible, but-
is like I have a habit of biting my lips,
Mm-hmm.
and then I thought, oh wait, like this girl makes me feel nervous, and I was like, bite my lips for you,
Yeah.
and it just kind of goes full circle.
Do you ever play any of your music during your fashion shows, during your dad's fashion shows?
So you hit the nail right on the or the hammer right on the nail. The funny thing is, when we're starting Next Level World, we're trying to think, how can we be different? How can our thoughts be different? And so we made it our whole platform to be art, music, fashion. And so our first time ever launching art, music, fashion was actually about 2 years later when we did Harlem Fashion Week. And what was beautiful is we try and make our shows cohesive. So the idea was the colors in the sand. And the idea behind that is my dad actually came up with that about bringing color to the desert. You go to a desert oasis,
Yeah.
it's the beautiful part of the desert. And that was also a
Yeah.
play on fashion because we think fashion's boring and we're trying to bring color to the desert.
Yeah.
The Northeast.
Yeah, the Northeast. Precisely. So that was a whole mixture. And so I designed the music to go along with the vibe of the fashion, the artwork. So everything came together as one central piece. And we did that again also in Miami, Art Basel. My dad had a topic about ego and releasing your Atman, your inner spirit. And so I'd made music to go along with that, and I actually did a whole like performance where it's your ego, right? So I came on stage in my underwear, and then I put my clothes on to change my ego throughout the performance, and each song went with the outfit I was wearing. So it's an
Interesting.
idea of like bringing all three elements together, so that as an audience perspective, you're not just going, oh, let's just get drinks and like have fun at a party. No, you're there to like experience and learn something and be
So
a
it
part
becomes
of
like
culture.
a theatrical event rather than just a fashion show. Like one point I should mention that was amazing is the music that Julian had written. There was one part in which one of the people walking down the runway, he had to rip this chain off his chest and smack it on the ground. And when he did that and the music, a crescendo of the music came out, the audience was so drawn back, it showed up in Vogue Italia on the page of Vogue Italia.
nice.
Wow.
So it was like, wow, people were just so wowed by that
because it's an experience.
moment. Exactly. Exactly.
I love that. So let's talk about your experiences, your Fashion Week experiences. How was, because I know you're on your third.
Yeah, this is going to be my third Fashion Week, yes.
So I want to know how you felt after you landed the first one.
Oh, my goodness. I was just too busy trying to get everything in order. And I was actually floating. When you see your pieces that you've been working on the runway of New York Fashion Week, you feel so grateful. That's the first thing. And I don't know if you're religious or anything, but I just knew it was from God. And I knew that I was brought there for a purpose. And I was just floating. Like just like Pat was just doing, floating right on Julian's song, and that's how I felt. And at that point that I realized that what I was doing was important because it made people happy and it made people look at things in a different way. Because I've always thought, like I said before, fashion is art and art is fashion. We've separated it too much into, okay, this is my style and I'm this and I'm that. I'm urban. I'm conservative. No, you're wearing what is art on you, and you can express your own art by changing what you wear.
Changing the mood.
Exactly.
And sorry, I was just throwing because my mom was tapping me about Atlantic City Fashion Week was actually our first show, and that was in 2014. And I'll never forget that because it was the first time, working with models. Like, we've done models and stuff like that, but at that scale where, you have the casting and all that.
Professional models,
And I'll never forget, because we actually did, I had a song that kind of went with part of the runway, but I just remember at the end, looking at my dad, and I was like, what next? Like, it was one of those things where you work so hard for months and months and months, because, fashion, like the shows are just to get photos, to get yourself out there, to learn as well, and then as a brand you take it to the next step. But that was our first time ever doing that, and so we're just like, whoa.
And there was a lot of people that came up to us afterwards because, again, Julian said it's connections. And they came up to us and said, oh, I'd love to hear. And here's my card. I'd love to do this. I'd love to meet with you. And we got a lot of connections through that. And I think that's how we were first recognized at Harlem Fashion Week is through Atlantic City Fashion Week.
Everybody knows each other in fashion.
So then let's talk about the show. What do you have in store? Without giving too many secrets away, of course.
The next show is going to be grand. I'm so grateful. Like you wouldn't believe. I'm going to be part of New York Fashion Week High Tech Moda.
Ooh.
And so, and this is going to be taking place on the 8th of September at the Roosevelt Hotel on Madison Avenue in New York City. And I'm shaking a little, but yet at the same time, quite ecstatic. And again, it's connections because I met Kat Schuler, who has been involved in fashion now for years and years. And she's just an amazing person. And through Kat, we've had so many connections. And I asked her about Fashion Week. She said, sure, come on. I'm part of this one. And she brought me in here. Wow. And what we're working on is just absolutely spectacular. It's all about reaching back. Because right now in this country, particularly with what's going on politically, we're all separate. There's fighting, there's disharmony. And I'm figuring out that what each one of us has to give to this country is what makes this country. And so I'm asking to look back into your heritage. If you have African heritage, look back the African heritage, bring it forward. If you're Chinese, if you're Indonesian, it's what you bring forward. So I'm taking elements of all these different cultures and bringing them forward in one show. And the show ends with the culmination of Mother Nature, the earth, is our home, and we're all one people. And so she floats onto stage, like, just bringing everyone together.
Wow.
Goosebumps.
I gotta see that
Goosebumps.
show. I know I got chills. I have to see
Yeah.
that. So wait, do you know like the location and the time, right?
Yes, exactly.
For your show, when is it?
The show is December 8th. No, I'm sorry, September 8th. September 8th. There's so many shows in my head right now.
Okay, come
Yeah,
back
so it's,
September 8th.
at-
What time? Do you know what time?
I don't know. Ooh. You'd have to look it up. But if
Okay, I
if you
will.
look online, you'll find it. It's you just type in high tech Moda fashion show, and then you'll see what time it is on there.
Yeah.
And it's in New York City, of course.
Because it'll be running all day and night and different. They'll
No,
be
it's
doing
just one
different
time.
times.
It's just one time.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean the
Oh, yeah,
fashion,
the fashion
week
week
will be
is
all.
all.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
It's the entire
Oh,
week.
okay.
Yeah.
And so if you go and look in Fashion Week, I will get some more information to you. I'm sorry, I don't have it here.
No,
with me.
no, it's fine. So what's next?
Maybe
It's
my
fine.
wife could.
We got the boss
All right,
on
Glue,
it.
let's hit it.
We got the boss.
Yeah. A couple other things
Break out
coming
the
up.
glue.
Julian is working on something. He'll tell you more about it on the boat. And then I also, again, I'm going to participate in Art Basel in Miami. And last year was the first time we did Art Basel in Miami with my artwork and also fashion. And what we try to do is we'd have the art pieces and right next to it, the inspiration
Yeah.
of the what the art piece inspired to create.
Yeah.
So we are comparing fashion with art on the wall and trying to link the two.
I love it. I love everything about what you're doing, and you as well. Julian. No,
Appreciate that.
No, it's great.
try.
this is just like this is just wow.
And my resourceful wife, by the way, gave me information. It's 4:30 to 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
on September 8th, 2018.
Oh, all right.
Awesome.
And if you go
You
to
gotta show up.
www.hightechmoda.com, you get more information. See, my wife always keeps me in order.
Ooh, very nice.
Okay, so I finally figured out what I was trying to figure out when we went to break. So your artwork and like your music, Julian, everything reminds me of Burning Man. Do you know?
Funny.
I've been wanting to go to Burning Man for
I
years.
feel like
Oh my
they
God.
would love you there. You want to sell your, oh my God, the pieces that I feel it looks just like everything that you create.
Yeah.
Every single thing.
So don't always give all, because there's a lot of Burning Man out here too, out east. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
heard of PEX. No, the reason why I say that is because it's hilarious that you say that in the music world, like in Philly, a lot of the people I'm working with are like, part of the Burning Man crowd. And actually a show we have coming up, well, I'm putting together in Philadelphia region is going to have some of those elements with the fashion, dancing, with Pat, of course. She's going to have some dancers. And then,
Okay, Pat, I see you.
So,
Hands in the air. Okay.
so
I see
but-
you.
yeah, no, it's interesting you say Burning Man.
Yeah, I would love to go, but I know I'm obsessed with the style of Burning Man, just the purpose of it, and then just what's created from it, and how I feel like it's like your family, but like grander, like and grander. I mean in size,
Yeah.
because you guys are already like top level creatives as far as I'm concerned.
Hey,
as
next
far
level.
Next level.
Next
Exactly.
level.
Next level, next
Exactly.
level. What?
It's the truth. And this is the first time that is the truth for them. Like, you are the next level. Yeah. And this is what we've been waiting for. I've been waiting for the next level. And you knew them this entire time. You never even told
Who
me.
knew? You know? Who knew?
Let
Maybe-
his sister in. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's your inspiration, Pat, because I remember I used to sit there in awe and watch the choreography that you did. It's
Oh,
like
thank you.
unbelievable.
She's
You're amazing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
You know,
Nope,
we'll
absolutely.
Backtrack. We've been working with Pat since what?
Since you were 4.
Yeah, since I was 4.
Yeah.
I'm 21
And
now.
I'm
so-
10.
Yep.
I'm 10 years old today. So
Yeah.
what can I say? I look good for my age, huh?
Wait, so then we have a couple more minutes, and I'm just curious to know. So how did this all happen? How did Pat and like how did you guys
I
meet?
worked at a dance studio, and they came in. You know, and Julian came in with his big eyes and the little one.
And
you
Sebastian
know,
was there.
Ariana,
Sebastian was dancing.
Sebastian, you know,
Yeah.
the little girl, and everybody just came in and they just took dance lessons, and
Oh.
Julian kind of cried. So.
Yeah, he hated it.
Why? Oh, he was
I don't
over it.
know.
He's like, I want to create the music, not dance to it.
that was basically it.
Actually, don't say I was pinching him. So.
And the best part, I think, is when we did Scrooge, A Christmas Carol.
Oh, we did a Christmas. We did the Nutcracker.
Yeah, and all the
And
kids
you
were
and
in
I,
there.
yeah, but you and I played the couple in the Christmas
Exactly.
Carol.
We were dancing all the time, remember?
Nutcracker.
The Nutcracker.
We were the mistress and madam
Oh
of the
yeah,
house. Or
yes,
something.
yes.
Yeah,
And
dancing
then
that big
Julian
old
was in there
dress.
too. He just kind of walked around.
Yeah, oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Looking worried.
Oh,
He always
Yeah,
looks
he was look worried. Yeah,
Really?
He did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Sebastian was
Oh,
the
I
prince
was in
one
my
year.
head.
Yeah. And Ariana.
Yeah, Ariana. I don't,
Wait, you have
yeah,
more
she never did
kids?
anything.
I
Yeah,
missed
she did.
that.
She was,
Yeah.
she was.
She was in
danced
a.
in the
She was in a
Kinder
little.
Sister
dance.
and
The
brother.
little dance. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So, Derrick, you have 2 more kids.
Yes, I do.
So they're not a part of this?
Yes, actually, I forgot. Sebastian is.
Okay.
Sebastian's part of the company. He's liaison. He's a curator in New York City, and he's actually working in several places. He's actually a professor at Parsons New School, and he's teaching art history and introductory to art as well too. So he's
Which
involved
is
in
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
He's also has a lot of connections with various galleries there in New York City, and so what he's doing, he's working on placing my artwork. And actually, I've gotten into Art Basel, because of him,
Because of him.
and it's through him to do that.
Wait, have you had your own art show?
I did have my own art show last year in Art Basel.
Yeah. So, but wait a minute. I mean, here. Right here, like in Philadelphia, or
Years ago.
years
on
ago.
on
Okay.
South Street. I had an art show on South Street.
Okay.
Well,
That's what it-
at my recital, he had a couple of pieces float around the stage. The kids were like moving easels.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that was so cool. I love that. Did you have like black ice too? Like fog machine?
no, they just.
I feel that.
They just walked in time.
Yeah.
Lights on
Yeah,
their hands.
it was cool.
Like this. No, I love it. And okay, so Julian, I want to play your song, and I've been trying to find it in my inbox, but I can't find it. Can you send me the song?
Sense in
I know.
Paradise?
Yes, please. I've been trying to find it this entire time, and I'm like going through my email and I'm trying to figure it out. But send it because I want to close out the show with that song. But yeah, I'm gonna close out the show with that song, because it's such a great song. It's like a nice like dance track, and it makes me feel like good. Makes me feel like summertime, because it's so hot outside.
like
So it's just like the
paradise.
perfect song.
And Julian wrote that song particularly for the Miss Pat's show.
Oh,
the
really?
recital.
Oh, you
Yeah,
wrote
he
the
wrote
song
it for
for
the
the show?
recital. Yeah.
And he danced it. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was really well done. Very well
that's
done.
great.
Yeah.
I thank you. Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Okay, it's Philly Cam. Yeah. Yeah, so I just had to say that out loud because there was no other way to do it. I needed to give him the Wi-Fi password. Transparency, it's so important on this show, okay? It really is. But okay, so great. So
Could I mention a couple of things? I just want to make sure that
Absolutely.
if anyone want to see the artwork, where to go.
Oh, nice.
Right now, the artwork is DK Design. That's DK Design Fine Art .weebly.com. That's where all my artwork is right now. Right now, I'm in the process of rebuilding the website for nextlevelworld.com. And if you go to nextlevelworld.com, you get more information about us, and you actually have a link to my artwork is there as well too. But on Next Level World, what we're going to be doing is giving you a link to infinitebitapparel.com, so you can then go there and buy the clothing if you want to buy from there.
And then also, I'm going to get this information from Derrick, and I'll put it on my social media pages too, so you can check it out there. And also, I just want to say thank you so much for gracing the studio
You're
with your
welcome.
presence.
Oh, absolutely.
You're welcome. Thank you for having
It's
us.
very nice.
so
I
much for having
mean,
us.
I feel like your everything that you're doing here is wonderful. I mean, your entire team, like your family, is so creative, is so out there. I see this about Pat's family too. Like everyone's super
Oh my
creative.
God! Have you seen Martin?
Oh God, yeah,
Oh
of
my
course.
God! I want to get him in one of my shows. By the way,
Of course.
he is
He
so
would love to,
talented.
yeah.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God! he's so
Martin
good.
is amazing. He's going to be on the show in like 2 weeks. We're going to chat about all the new things that he's doing. He's hilarious, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen any of his, like,
Funny or
shows.
Die.
Oh, my God. And I shared, if anyone knows, I share it all the time on my I always, like, share out his stuff whenever he creates, but my favorite is Titus Andromeda did you see what? Anyway, so I'll share that again, too, because it's hilarious. And Titus himself shared it out and, like, gave him a shout out, which was really awesome. So where do you see Next Level going? Like what is the ultimate for you if you can like manifest reality right now?
What we'd love to have is, first of all, Jerry Cannon is involved in this in trying to get us started. He has a big audience, and we want to see that the casual apparel have a sales and increase sales, because right now sales are not that, because we need to get more exposure. And again, to get exposure in today's market, it's very hard because social media, you have to really hit it. We have not had time to really hit social media and spread things out. So the more messages we get to other people around and to websites, the more people will stop by. Next thing we want to do is, I'm moving more towards haute couture, so I want to set up an haute couture line as well too. And we have to look at the demographics for that this time. So that's mainly our direction. Just keep doing what we're doing.
And I love it. So did you ever try to think about like what a lot of people do with IG influencers?
Yes, we've tried that as well.
You tried that? That didn't work out too well?
The main thing is, so we just never really focused 100% on it, and now we're kind of reaching that level. The thing is, with fashion, it's got to be who wears it. Like the guy I'm talking about, Jerry Cannon, he's going to do a bunch of Rick and Morty shirts. Because the thing is, people are going to buy it if Rick and Morty's on there. It's association. So we have a lot of plans like that. It's just sitting down and going forward with it. But the beautiful thing, what's nice that we haven't done it and our social media has been low, is that we've kind of gotten seasoned up. Like when you're cooking something.
Yeah.
You don't serve it. Sometimes it takes 4 years to cook something up. And like even right now, I'm working on an event concept of, this is the next level world. And not just because of fashion. I'm doing an event, art, music, fashion, for the environment, to raise money for nonprofits. Because I don't know if you see, California's on fire. Our hometown, St. Thomas, was destroyed last year in a Category 6 hurricane.
Oh, wow.
So like, it's because something's coming to the Northeast too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things going on in our world right now that we got to like think advance. And I feel like, because like, I mean, like you heard here, my dad, he's a scientist. So, and he went to fashion. Like, you can use both sides of your brain to move things forward. And so now that we have such a solid foundation to launch off of, that, social media numbers, that's not the important part. It's the platform. And then the team coming together. And then when we open the gates, send it to influencers, do the marketing, it's going to be easy after that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. I got it. And so I finally have the track. Thank God. Thank you. I mean, not even thank God, but thank Julian.
No, thank God. He made it. So.
All right. So listen, thank you so much for tuning in to Millennial High. I have such a great like feeling inside from my guests today. Like I feel like all their talents rubbing off on me.
all this creative juices are just flowing.
I mean, you should see the studio. We're just like orbs all over, sparks of light.
Goodness gracious.
Let me play this song, okay? But thanks so much for tuning in. As always, stay lit, love inspired, and true. Until next time, bye.
Hey, yeah. 1, 2, yeah. Sipping on homemade punch with an Aki saltfish favorite lunch. Want some? Got a nice girl in the pool and I finished up school. Lifestyle cool, okay. Chilled in the back of the whip and I'm headed to the show. All day been great, oh yeah. Mango trees in the backseat, breezing my cap and the girl in my lap. No way, money moves in the groove. All show in the boat, no need for the proof. I'm paid. Was just up on the block, but now I'm in the booth from the stoop and the y'all hit play. Got a new dance and a song from Mali, Europe, sing along. North Korea, heard that track and they put it on replay. Okay. So we out in the jungle. Bass loud in the rumble. Took a boat to the island. Purple vibe inspiring. Wake up on the beach. Wake up to the breeze.
Private island feeling, everyday appealing. Stars have been the ceiling, dance all night so healing. Private island feeling, everyday appealing. Stars have been the ceiling, dance all night so healing.
Got a nice crew, do what we do. Sipping on drinks right by the pool. Vibers are cool. After the mission, the beach of the suit. Before I was running the business and played as an actor, they were just like, who's this? Had to date the director. We worked out a bigger lecture. Bringing authentic to work. Hollywood fake, it made me berserk. We had a story you knew in the curve. Anger the Great, Mila Samula. Buying the island next to Aruba. She want a scuba, I'm riding the Cuba. Praying to God, also the Buddha. We don't have cars, it's not on the island. Gotta get here, yeah, you just fly, man. Sunscreen for them big tents. Some nights I book big bands. Focus mind gets you big bands. Then you dip your toes in the sand. Focus mind gets big bands. Some night I book big bands and them sunscreen give you big tans. Love.
Private island feeling, everyday appealing. Stars up in the ceiling, dance all night so healing. Private island feeling, everyday appealing. Stars up in the ceiling, dance all night so healing. Private island feeling, everyday appealing. Stars up in the ceiling, dance all night so healing. Private island feeling, everyday appealing. Stars have been the ceiling, dance all night so healing.